the new coming things which we are expecting to explain. So as a trainer, most of us, mostly Lions, we are the leaders in each and every club or in districts or in multiple areas, wherever we are taking the positions. We are in a situation to explain our thoughts to so many peoples. When we are explaining the thoughts, sometimes the language barriers will be there. So no, it's not that everyone knows every languages or everyone will be able to understand everything. But when we give some common examples across, the language will not be a barrier at all. Because when we are creating some visualization in front of the eyes by saying the known things to the people, they will be easily able to imagine the things, the mental images they will be creating it. If I simply say there are two mountains in between, a bridge is there, somebody will see the raw mountains and one bridge, maybe the wooden bridge, maybe seeing the rope bridge. Maybe some people will be seeing the bridges are built with the concrete, cement and everything. The child may have see all the trees and flowers in the mountains. Some people like what we are having in the screen. They will be imagine the sun or moon, river and everything. So vivid mental images. Different people will be imagining the things in different ways. By explaining with the help of metaphors, we can create n number of images personalized with each and everyone from their life experiences. So they create powerful mental pictures that make learning memorable because the pictures are stored very fast and forever. Rather, reading something or hearing something, if we could able to convert that into a picture and store it in our memory, we can easily recollect it and we will be able to continuously speak about it or anything because the image is going to give us the continuous flow. And it is easily relatable, easily able to recollect and speak about that one. Then it really connects with the existing world, real world connection. The metaphors creates the connection to the livelihood. So it describing the career growth as climbing a mountain. If I am from the village, I'm coming up and I'm going to settle down in the metro cities where it is sparse people having a very stylish languages, stylish dress sense, and the career is also I'm having a tough competitive career. Then to explain that to the people, say it's like a climbing a mountain. You cannot go and say how tough my job is, how tough for me to accustom with the new environment, how struggles I'm facing to manage the things around me. Everyone might have faced it when we are moving from our hometown to some other places. Yes? Any such experience?
Yeah.
Can you type it in the window? Raju, maybe you can just help me out.
In case anybody writes, I'll read them out.
Yeah. So anyone, the toughest life situations when we are managing it.
Some people have written yes, but would you like to give an example of that? Anybody?
What kind of struggles you faced it? We say it as a climbing a mountain or swimming in the current of the, swimming against the current of the river, the opposite direction of the river, which are very toughest ones. We can say we are just struggling like that to easily help them understand how it is hard for us.
So when from Anand Kumar, she says that it's like facing cultural shocks in terms of food in alliance meeting. Fish out of water is a metaphor given by Mukundan Pataru.
Great. Great. So it is always different experiences. Fish out of water, it's a great example. We struggle for breath also. Some people will be like having that much of struggles also. At least we can say climbing a mountain, we can take rest in between and we can climb something like that. But Fish out of water is a wonderful metaphor which says that we we will be able to manage the things. We struggled a lot. It is a life and death struggle, something like that. We can just compare like that. So when we are just giving such kind of metaphors, it helps the helps the other side of person to whom we are explaining to immediately understand what is the challenges over there, what kind of effort or what kind of energy we are contributing to progress in the real world situations. There is one example. In real world, we can connect the metaphors with all the day-to-day problems what we are facing, or day-to-day situations, or day-to-day applauses what we are getting. Everywhere we can just apply it. When we say the metaphors connects the bridges or connects us, gives the mental images, or when we say it is connecting us to the real-time world, but again, it is a double-edged sword in communication. What it means? The double-edged sword. Again, it's a metaphor.
Yes.
So when single-edged sword we are using to fight, it is going to affect the person who is in the other side only. But double-edged, equally we are having the threat to be get affected also. If we are not using it, if we are not good in the language, or if we don't know how to use it, then it may create the bad image about us also. It may create so the understanding levels also goes in a different way. One way, the one edge of the sword is give the power to clarify, power to explain what exactly I mean to say, what exactly I want as an output, or how exactly I'm thinking about certain situation, or how exactly I want to praise the people up who has done the wonderful job. So the power to clarify what I am thinking. So when it is used thoughtfully, the thoughtfully is the word is very, very essential whenever we are using metaphors. Just like that, certain people will speak and go, pin the people without they are doing anything harm to us. Just like that, when we are uttering something, it may pin the people surrounding us and creates a bad impact. Sometimes I will be appreciating the people, but using the wrong metaphor, it tells them that I'm not fully happy, I'm not fully appreciating them. I'm just having a comma or something over there so that I don't want to heartfully appreciate them. So using the metaphors thoughtfully is going to give the power of clarity. It eliminates the complex ideas. It lightens up the things. When the people are in the dark, if you rightly, thoughtfully use the metaphors, it is going to lighten up the area. It creates shared understanding across diverse audience. We are in Lionism always, we are having the diversified audience, adult learners, the learners from different culture, the learners from different areas. So when we are having such a diverse kind of audience, when we are using the right metaphors in the thoughtful way and exactly placing it wherever it is required. We can use 2 or 3 metaphors for the same situation, but which one is the right one? We need to think based on the audience, so that it simplifies the concept, difficult concept or ununderstandable concept very easier, create emotional resonance, link the people with their emotion and align them to listen to us, and foster deeper engagement. It cultivates or it just promotes to have the involvement in the conversation. When the people are involved or engaged in the conversation or engaged in the session, definitely the key notes or the key points what we wanted to discuss, they will take home the points. If we are not able to establish that connection, establish the engagement with the audience, then whatever the keynotes or the effort the trainer takes or the effort the person who is explaining it takes will be go better. So we need to rightly use the metaphors to use and explain the communication. But on the other way, the double-edged sword, the other side of the sword, the metaphor is having the risk of confusion. If we are not giving the clarity, if we use a wrong metaphor in the place, which gives the confusion. Example, the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is used in all the languages. Most of the languages we will be using this metaphor to emphasize or to give that we are working on the micromanagement. We are working with even the small things we are taking care of it, but ignoring the visible big task. Elephant is a very big animal. It visible just like to our eyes. It's not like a mosquito or any small insects or anything. It is visible to everyone in the room. But we are ignoring the elephant. That is the meaning of this elephant in the room. We are doing micromanagement. We are planning all the small things also. But there will be a big flaws, which simply we are thinking that it is the big one or visible to everyone, someone or the other one will be taking care of it, or we will be ignoring it by some reason. Then to emphasize that, directly we cannot go and tell the people, see, you don't have the highs, you are having this big issue, you are not taking care of it. We cannot go and talk to the people like that. So polishly we will say like this. If two among five people are sitting and discussing in a room, two of our friends are having some quarrel, they are not speaking directly to us. Every other three people also knowing it. But we are ignoring them and start communicating the things to happen. Will it happen successfully? The two people are not going to support us because they are having the negativity. So it's visible if we need to make the thing happen, all the five of the people need to give their efforts. Then in those scenario, we know that the two of the people are not having the proper communication or having some mental depression or maybe having some pinning point between them. We need first to solve it. Then if we are explaining what need to be done as a team, then it is going to be helpful. So such kind of scenarios, we will be using this phrase, the metaphors. But it's not familiar to everyone. Maybe in the local language also, some people will be asking. That too nowadays kids are asking. If we are saying any metaphors, what it means, mom? Why you are using all the metaphors now and then? Why can't you tell me directly? So, because now we are restricting our kids more towards the bookish knowledge. We are making them as a bookworm. We are making them to read only the subject. It's a practical problem actually. And language also, for the mark's sake, we are asking the kids to concentrate on the language, not for the sake of enjoying the benefit of the language, enjoy the beauty of the language. The language is like a flower, the fragrance flower. If you go and smell it, then only you can enjoy the smell. Just like that, by looking into it, maybe we can see the beauty, but we cannot enjoy the fullest of the flower. So if you want to enjoy the fullest of the flower, you need to go near to it. You need to use it. Then only you will enjoy it. Same way the language. If you are properly using your language, then only you can enjoy the language, the vocabulary we used to say. So it's not only the metaphors, the vocabulary. My husband always used to say, I'm very poor in English, basically, because I'm having a thought. I'm from the government school till my 12th. Only in the college I entered into the English medium. So that I see the inferiority complex is there that I don't have good English. I won't speak good. When the people of so-called educated people are sitting, we will be having little bit of that fear. We will not showcase it as a trainers. We know how to manage it, but still internally we ourselves we need to accept us. No, so we will be having it because of the feel It is foreign to me. It is not my own. But if somebody asks me to speak in Tamil, even 2 hours, you just give me the topic, immediately ask me to speak, I will speak. Even for 2 hours, I will speak. That is the confidence what I'm having in my own language. Even in English, I will speak. But somewhere, no, I will be having the hiccups. The reason is the flow comes into the mind in the own language. Then we will be like, know how to put it in the foreign language. The back brain will be working on it. So to avoid those kind of risk or confusions, use the simple metaphors known to all. Some people will be like, no, they will be knowing it. They will be experiencing it from the Western idioms. They will be working always with the dictionaries. There will be people. They will be using such kind of idioms or the metaphors, which will not give the clarity to the people around. Even the simple English, sometimes we are not able to understand, isn't it? Are we? Always? Yes?
Yeah,
We are able to understand.
not always.
Overall picture we know. If we ask line by line, or if we are asking some people what exactly they mean to say by this or something, we will not be able to. We will manage, okay, this is what the communication, or this is what the lecture, or this is what the idea about the product, or whatever it is. We will give the overall picture. So when we focus on the audience, please understand the audience before we are speaking. We may prepared very well. We might have taken all the notes from the Google. We might have referred so many books. We have written all the knowledge, whatever I'm having. I wanted to put it over here and write. It's well, good, but think of your audience also, because the audience are the ones for whom you are speaking, for whom you are delivering something, for whom you are discussing or explaining the things. So first understand the audience, accordingly use it. Otherwise, it will create the confusion. Whether I said in this way or this way. I want you to go enter the stage by left-hand side and come down by the right-hand side. Whether it is the left hand of mine or left hand of yours. Simple one. I'll say, come by the left, leave by the right. If I say come by my left, leave by my right, there is a difference. Same way, the metaphors also may create sometimes there is kind of confusion. So that kind of situation, please avoid creating the metaphors. Speak in the simple way or explain the known things to the people. So use the metaphors thoughtfully to enhance the clarity and connection, not to obscure the meaning and create barriers to understand. If it is creating the meaningful conversation, use it. Otherwise, please ignore the metaphors. Common metaphors generally used. Journey metaphors. Journey metaphors, just now we have seen crossing the bridge. Crossing the bridge means some risky task may be there. There is no common connectivity. So we need to use the bridge to connect. So, or it is not continuous. There is some break is there or some risk is there. Navigating crossroad, moving the roads, which is not very straightforward. So such kind of journey related metaphors, we will be using more like that. And nature related. When something went wrong, we came to the zero. We need to push our energy to grow again. Then we can say planting seeds. Seed will not give the effect or the growth or the benefits immediately. If I seed the plant, the seed will take some time to become the small plant, then it will become the tree, and the tree will take some time to flower. Once the flower comes, then the fruit and seeds will be coming. So it is not the immediate effort. So if you are putting some work or you are starting some work or company or whatever the journey, if it is a time consuming one, we will be using like that. Or if already I faced all the difficulties, but still I am withstanding it, we can say weathering storms. Even in all the local languages, we are having this kind of metaphors. All the struggles. I faced all the struggles, but still I'm successful, or still I'm live in it, or still I could able to do my work. So relating the natures, we can create the metaphors, or by love words. So we can use like no flattering words, moon like face, glow like moon, flower like smile, whatever the pleasing words, we can make use of it. Or container metaphors, restricting someone within the square, within the circle I am playing it, under the four walls, under the roof, or within the four walls, something like that, by specifying some containing structures, exploring the boundaries or safe spaces. We will be using lots of metaphors based on that. So based on those, it gives their capacity for growth and learning potential, how much. Generally, we will say the frog inside the well, it will not understand how the ocean will be. So the containment, the well is a very small one, ocean is a very big one. The frog within the well cannot compare with the ocean, how big it is. Something like that, we can say how the capacity of the world and what we know and how we need to explore. We can make use of the metaphors based on that. What kind of the power the metaphors, when you use the metaphors, the transformation it gives the fresh perspectives, means the perspective of creating new ideas, creating new innovations. So instead of focusing only on the problem side, we are giving you different phases of the problems. We will give the clarity to them to look the way around how the challenges can be viewed and get the new angles of it, how to break the barriers, all those things. Then unlocking the creativity. Without the creativity, we cannot use the metaphors. If we have the creativity, then only we can compare two things. So it innovative solutions, it creates a pathway. It encourages the imagination thinkings. Because whenever you are comparing the things, whenever you store it in your memory by a picturization, it may create the new ideas. It creates the innovations. That's how the phones, telephones, mobiles, iPhones, whatever we are using is there in our place. Emotional distances. Safe psychological space to handle difficult and sensitive topics gently. This, when we are speaking about this, we can say the high school teachers explaining the physical growth to the children's, sexual education. Those things directly we cannot explain them. But the teachers will be using the known animals or something like that to explain them how it is, how you are close to your pet animals. That is the love. That is the care. Something like that, they will take the topic from the known and emotionally they will connect the things and explain the difficult topics or sensitive topics in the gentle manner. This is the power of the metaphors. So some certain things we cannot explain directly to all. So indirectly explaining things, the metaphors plays a important role. Then what we are having is examples. The challenge whenever we are facing, we can use it. So the professional phases, career transition, anxiety, feeling, overwhelm. It's a situation what I explained in the first time. Whenever we are coming from village to city or something, then how we are using that as the metaphor, crossing a bridge. Two different worlds from the village to the city. So I'm in between. I'm crossing the bridge from here to there, which gives the visualization to the people. This is what we already explained. Then what we are having from the Indian cultural resonance. Lots of things. Our literatures, we can say, the cultural celebrations, whatever we are having. If we do understand the culture of our Indian different cultures, diversified culture. I'm not saying the single culture. Wherever we are in the part of the world, what is our culture if we understand? Lots of things are easily understandable with the help of the metaphors. It's like a stories or the symbols, something like that. We will be easily matching the things. And familiar anchors. Karma as a seed planted. Whether it is a good karma or bad karma, whatever you are planting it, you are going to harvest it. Like this, lots of anchorings happens. But don't confuse the people. Navigate with the care. Draw from the shared Indian experiences, festival, agriculture, family systems to create the metaphors that resonate authentically. If I talk about the joint family, how we experienced with our uncle, aunt, and all those things with the 10 people, 15 people. Today's kids will not be able to relate because more than one, if someone comes, they are not able to manage. Then they will say how you are able to manage it. Then we need to bring them to some functions, tell them how we used to be, something like that. So practical tips for the trainers. Just 1 minute, Raju, I will be completing it.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Keep it simple and relevant. Don't confuse or don't think that the metaphors need to be used to express our knowledge here. Check for understanding. Whenever we are speaking something, please find out with the people whether they are able to understand it. For example, if elephant in the room, when I use just like that, if the people among 5 people, 2 people are not able to understand, please ask them whether you are having a clarity what I mean to say. If not, please explain them. So you cannot say it is obvious one. When I say elephant in the room, you should understand. It's not that everyone will be able to understand it. And invite reflection, not the confusion. So once they say, yes, I understood, re-insist to find whether they are in the same line of your thought. If not, it is going to create the problem. They will be thinking something, you will be thinking something, and this will be ending up with a different solution. So invite the reflection from the participant. If they are confused, please explain in the local way or more clear way. Balance the metaphorical and direct language. If a speaker uses the complete metaphors in his discussions, there is no direct talk at all. Whatever the topic he explained may be the wonderful presentation, but ended up with the question mark, what he tries to explain. So we need to know what I am explaining also need to go and reach. Maybe the wonderful, fabulous presentation, but if it is not reaching the audience, it is not of use. So use the direct language and balance that with the metaphorical language also. So visualization, how it creates. Generally, before using metaphors, if they are not able to understand, if we are giving them the metaphorical picture, then they will be able to understand it. Clarity emerges. So team members feel stuck, overwhelmed by unclear process. Draw something, either by words, by explaining it as a metaphors, then it creates the clear direction, or draw it in the paper so that they will be having the clarity. It transforms the powerful visuals. Transform the experience, unlock the understanding, and it is going to create the magic. So the control and make use of how we are going to make use of the metaphor is going to create the magical impact, transform the feeling of the training or feeling of the session, and unlock the understanding or misunderstanding. Deeper emotional balanced connection it is going to establish if you use the right metaphors in the right sense to the right audience, not everywhere as everything. So the right metaphor at the right moment can illuminate the understanding like a lamp in darkness, transforming confusion into clarity and possibility. So as a trainers or as a speaker or as a person who is going to explain the task to our employees, the metaphors are going to be very, very impactful and helpful to explain the things. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Hope I may be able to give a pinch of what the effect of metaphors, because the metaphor is having lots and lots and lots of things to be explored, to be discussed. Maybe a pinch I could able to give. Thank you so much. If any queries, we'll handle it. Thank you, Raju.
Thank you, Kalyani. Thank you very much. So you stopped on the dot. And this is 9 o'clock now. I must tell you before I invite questions that when Kalyani chose this topic, I was a little bewildered because I did not, I realized that she is not a language teacher. She herself clarified that she comes from the Tamil and Telugu medium background. And I just asked myself why she has chosen this topic. Maybe now I realize that she wanted to touch an area in which she wanted to master a new area. So, had it been something related to technology, she would have done wonders. But she chose a new topic and then gained some expertise in that and then tried to tell us. I'm very happy. I have taught metaphors in the classroom, and I mean, my view of what metaphors were and also how they make our language sweeter and all that was slightly different. But now you have thrown light on a new perspective, and then you have sown a seed in a different direction, and you have opened our eyes to the elephant in the room. And I think some points that you made are very, very valid because you drew a very clear distinction between using metaphors with a literary flair that many of us use and also ensuring that they should make our thoughts clearer and simpler. I think that's the crux of the issue. So, using metaphors just for the sake of using them does not serve its purpose. But whenever we are thinking of a metaphor as a leader, as a trainer, as a classroom teacher, whatever, we must keep uppermost in our mind whether the message is being delivered appropriately or not. Thank you very much, Kalyani. Now, time for questions. So, in case you have a question, please raise your hand. Ramesh, do you have a question?
Yeah, good evening, madam. See,
Good evening. Good evening.
you explained very clearly how the metaverse will work. Now, my question is why metaverse matter in NGOs like in our Lions International?
Kalyani, do you like to answer that question?
Exactly. We need to say, see, we are handling the childhood cancer, we are handling the hunger projects. So when we wanted to go and explain someone, we need to compare the things with, like, when go and seek help from others, or we are going and explaining some other NGOs to be invited or somewhere. When we are explaining, we can just compare our experiences by using the metaphors. They will be able to understand much. So that is the reason in Lionism or in NGOs also, like, to explain, or when we go and approach an orphanage, or when we go and approach some blood donation camp, or wherever we are going, if we are clarify or compare our work or our effort with the metaphors, they will be able to understand how much of the effort we are putting on there, or how much we wanted to really help the people. There we can just use the metaphors so that it will just go and reach the people in the right sense and get the what the effect we want to create, we can create the effect. So it's not in training, even in the NGOs it is useful. Thank you.
Thank you, Kalyani. Before I invite Anand Kumari to ask her question, would anyone like to give us a very simple metaphor for the presentation that Kalyani has made? Kalyani's presentation is, can you complete that sentence? Kalyani's
Why,
presentation
Raju?
today. No, let's try some metaphors. Is it like a symphony? Is it like a song? Is it like a bridge? We don't use like, of course, when we use metaphors. It's a new light, good communication between two points. It was an easy cakewalk. Ah, somebody like that. Good. It's out of the blue. Okay. Mukundan says it's out of the blue. It's a silver line in the cloud from Selina. Oh,
Wow.
lovely. Good.
Thank you.
It was like crossing rough water to calm water. Good. It's a passage
Jayanti.
into
Yeah.
the clear waters.
Language
Cross
barriers.
language barriers, reducing resistance. It's magic. Who said that? Good. Sharada. Krishna Rao says a different topic.
Different topic.
Okay.
Touch.
Thank you very much. Anand Kumari, it's your time now. You have a question, please? Anandi, you are unmuted. You can speak.
We are not able to hear you, Anandi.
Oh, last time also we had a problem with your microphone. Sorry, we can't hear you. Is there anybody else who has a question? Can somebody give me a metaphor for the problem of retention that we have in Lionism? So today, retention is a serious problem because we are getting members and losing them. And what metaphor can you use to describe it?
Managed tsunami.
Is retention something like an elephant in the room? Do you think retention is the elephant in the room as far as lions are concerned? What I know, a drop in the ocean. Yeah, Lata Gujar says whatever she knows about lionism is still a drop in the ocean. That's a beautiful metaphor. Yes. Anand Kumari's question is in the chat box. In case of recruiting, which metaphor should be used? Recruiting. So what kind of a world you are going to enter when you join a Lions Club?
It's an enjoyment of taking bath in waterfalls.
Yeah. So do you want to swim in the ocean? Do you want to enter the heaven? I think
So the fun with pain, the fun with struggle, we can say the enjoyment.
Right.
Everything is there.
Yeah. Sharda, do you have a question? You can unmute yourself.
Hi, namaste sir, namaste madam.
Namaste.
Namaste.
We are in Shishakti madam. We met in Delhi.
Yeah, Shada.
Thank you, thank you. If we are not having that much vocabulary, how will we explain without metaphor?
See, metaphor is not the mandatory one. That's what we said. Use the direct language and metaphor cautiously to communicate. See, it's that something known and unknown we want to compare. And if we know what is the unknown to be compared, then we can use the metaphors. But otherwise, you can explain it in the simple word. Or if it is the local language group, you can use the local language to explain it better.
Yeah.
Always in our district functions and all, we would be using bilingual trainings, anything also. Same way we can make use of it. It's not mandatory that we need to use the metaphors.
It's not mandatory, but I think in case you're comfortable using them, use them. And when you think that a metaphor makes it easier for people to understand, use them. Otherwise, avoid them. Rajesh Agarwalji.
Yeah, good evening.
It's a Ramesh Kondaveti. 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. Ramesh Kondaveti, it's a very wonderful one for retention. He has given one metaphor. Leaders or gardeners, plants don't fail, gardens are neglected. That is the metaphor he has given for the retention. Thank you,
Rajesh, your
Ramesh.
question, please.
Rajesh ji, please.
Yeah, you see, this metaphor is a new terminology which at least I am hearing for the first time in the Lions Garden or the kid. So,
Yeah.
but I think it needs to be made more popular. So, how the metaphor can be metaphored?
It's a magical key of your communication. You can use that as the metaphor to explain the metaphor. It's a magical key actually when we want to give the better communication or better presentation or anything. It's a new one thanks to nagaRAJU because all the topics given by Raju are very new and very thought-provoking topics. So generally it is in our line leadership programs also, we will not use it because we will be targeting the leadership to make the people as a leader, what kind of knowledge we need to give. So it is the out-of-box platform. So wherein the topics are newly created. So we can make use of the metaphor as a magical key.
Very true. Very true. I added some 4 or 5 language-related topics to the list and thought that somebody would enlighten us about how effectively language can be used by leaders to make their training programs more effective. That was the idea. I think
Arya.
Dr. Arya.
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am. The way you are saying Telugulo అరటిపండు ఒలిచి నోట్లో పెట్టినట్టుగా ఉంది మీరు చెప్పే విధానం.
Thank you,
That
thank you,
can be
sir.
used.
So
So
peel a banana and put it in your mouth.
Fine, ma'am. ఒక్కొక్కసారి అంటే few times we may miss the by in way of using metaphor. Sometimes we will do some mistakes also. And the meaning will come little differently when we use a metaphor. That also happens in some speeches. So we should be very careful to use them. Before that, we have to practice it, and we should know about what we are saying properly, and then we have to share. Otherwise, we can go with our own language, ma'am.
Yeah,
What
that
you
is
said is
that
true,
is the
not
reason
only
it
with
was mentioned as a double-sided sword.
Correct,
Yes.
correct. And Dr. Arya, what you said is not only true with metaphors, it's with every word that we use.
Any example also,
Every
yeah.
single word that we use.
Yeah.
We must be very careful
Sometimes-
with the words that we choose.
Sometimes we will take one example and it goes in another way.
Yeah. Correct. That's why we must be extremely careful. And Kalyani gave us that warning already. Any other questions? We have time for 1 or 2 more questions. So, I mean, be careful with the language that we use when we go to a training program. As leaders, like Dr. Arya and others have also pointed out that we have to be extremely careful with the words that we use, with the metaphors that we choose, with the figures of speech that we employ, and even the tone and more. Of course, that all comes in language use and then body language and other things. But as far as metaphors are concerned, they are highly effective if used carefully. They are double-edged weapons and they must be used very carefully. And they make
also one small advice need to be given here, Raju. It is not only the metaphors, even the languages. When we are using 2-3 languages, we may get confused with the wordings. One word maybe in one language it is having good meaning, in another language it will be having a bad meaning. So when we are having diversified gathering, cautiously use the local languages because it may give different meaning in different languages.
Correct. The last question from Prakash.
Sir, good evening. Madam presented it in a very, very fluid manner. Everybody could understand how metaphor can be used in training purposes. And at last, she explained what is the magic of a metaphor in training. She said, the right metaphor at the right time. As you were talking about that, if we are using wrong metaphors, that will create confusion for the participants. And now it is very clear how I congratulate Madam for presenting it in a very lucid manner and understandable to everybody. So when we are going to training the lions, we can keep more vigilant about the words we are using for the training purposes. And thank you very much. And wishing you Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Prakash.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Finally, I just would like to tell you once again that metaphors must be used carefully. And Kalyani has made that point very, very well. For instance, we can say lionism is a candle, lionism is a window, lionism is a tunnel. Recently, when I was invited to do an indoctrination program, I said lionism is like a thali meal. So everybody eats what one wants. So, I mean, it all depends upon how we are going to develop our talk. So
And
whatever,
our audience also.
yeah, it should suit the audience and it should suit the context in which we are using it and the points that we are going to make. So depending on what we would like to develop upon, maybe we can use an appropriate metaphor like that, right? So once again, I'd like to
Yeah. I thank each and everyone. Thank you, Raju. My hearty wishes, Happy New Year to all. And I wish you all to have the great, successful 2026. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This is the list of the presentations that are already over and also that are scheduled in the future fortnights. So we have finished the 59th program today, and the next one is going to happen on January 8th. That's again a Thursday, 2 weeks from now. And that presentation is going to be made by Manoj Kumar Purohitji, past district governor. And the topic is extremely interesting, something I would love to, I'm waiting for this actually. Humor as a leadership tool. Let's all look forward to listening to something very, very interesting from Manojji next fortnight on Thursday, January 8th. I invite Manoj Kumar Purohitji to please propose a formal vote of thanks and also invite all of us to his session.
Thanks, nagaRAJU. We had an excellent opening by PID Lion Balakrishna Burlakoti. As usual, he is very humble and he reminded us of our fundamental commitments. Then taken over by LCIP Kalyani Rangarajan. World of metaphors is very large and she has tried to cover it extensively and did a very good job. And we must all appreciate her for her efforts in putting things, because many of us may be using metaphors and we may be hearing, but then we don't identify them as metaphors technically. For example, all poets use them. And if someone wants to have a good example of metaphors, he should read Kabir. The best use of metaphors are from Kabir. We use in NLP also metaphors extensively to enable a person to overcome his mental issues or barriers, or wants to change his way of thinking on certain objects or certain persons. So these are all very useful tools, particularly metaphors. And it was a good topic and it has been covered extensively. We should also appreciate the patience and passion of nagaRAJU for continuing with this event for the third year in progress. So the next, as he has said, will be presented by me. That's humor in leadership. We will go through the types of humor, and not that every type of humor can be used by leaders. Also, how to imbibe humor into your trainings, into your lectures, and also impact of humor on teams and organizations. So this will be the area where we will be covering these topics with some good examples. And I'm thankful that he gave me an interesting topic because we always remember the leaders who were more humorous. Maybe if you have heard a leader 30 years back, 35 years back, and he was quite humorous in making his points, we still remember that. So that's the best way of creating an impact, long-lasting impact. So let's all join for that particular session, and we'll be sharing our knowledge for that. Thank you very much. God bless everyone. Happy New Year in advance, and then Merry Christmas to everyone.
All the best,
Thank you,
Manoj.
Manoj. Thank you very much. We also thank PDG Basveshwar Rao for explaining that purpose of Lionism to us. And then thank everybody, despite that holiday, long weekend, Christmas, so many people have come and I'm extremely happy, but the attendance must increase. And for the future program,